Hello, my name is Ruby Gonzalez, and I'm doing the debate, the rebuttal debate on why the U.S. should be involved militarily in the Middle East. So the U.S. went to Iraq to protect American land and people from terrorism. They also were saving Iraqis from terrorism happening in their own land. So the military, hurting and violating the human rights of Iraqi people. The U.S. sees the geopolitical orientation of the Middle East as vital to American national security because of the fact that they're so close to us. It's important for us to be able to provide stability and support for their government and for the people that live there in order for us to not be in danger. The U.S. sends troops to help Iraqis as well as allow Middle East to have more support in order to protect American people. So due to the instability of the Middle East, and acts of terrorism committed by ISIS, it is important for troops to offer people in their region support and guidance. Now, a student spoke about human rights violations that have been committed by U.S. soldiers. I was really not aware of this at all, so I thought that was very insightful, and actually it is a problem. But a student spoke about human rights violations that have been committed by U.S. soldiers. So human rights are extremely important, as we all know, and vital in order for people to flourish, as well as for the prosperity of a country, because if the people aren't happy and the people aren't flourishing in that country, they're not going to want to work or allow for, if something gets fixed in the country as far as the roads, the walls, the wells, or anything like that, the people aren't happy. They're gonna feel like their country is kind of like a joke, and they're not going to want to help the country as far as allowing for money to circulate and allowing for the country to thrive. So it is super important for people to feel like their human rights are being attended. So that was brought to my attention that U.S. soldiers were violating human rights and even raping and murdering innocent people. Now, the student with the original debate stated that the U.S. has human rights problems and should not focus on fixing other countries. This may be true. The U.S. has a fairly good democracy with order and freedom for its people. If this was given to people in Middle East, then they may be able to rebuild their government and allow for the country to flourish. So while the U.S. does have, I completely agree that the U.S. has human rights, problems as far as, the Black People Matter movement, as well as even like rights for women and things like that, as far as like the gender gap and, topics like that. I completely agree. However, I think that if troops are sent to help the people of, Iraq specifically, and help those in the Middle East, to allow them, give them shelter, give them food, give them water, give them things that their original country is not giving them, then it's important for them to be there. It is important for them to feel like another country actually even like cares, or even like, they matter to a different country or to different people of a region. So I believe that if troops were sent to help them, at least get their basic human needs, food, water, shelter, then they would be able to kind of see what they can do. And probably if troops even offered support and education lessons about how they can in that situation that they're in, how they can get out of that and kind of, help their neighbors and help their families in order to reach a more stable, way of life. Because right now it seems like they're all scared and they really don't know what to do and things like that, as far as like what's happening with their government. So if U.S. troops were able to go and kind of lead them to how to rebuild a democracy, what to do in order to go against the military that's violating their human rights, that's not giving them food, water, or shelter, that's kind of pushing them to the side and, digging them basically to the ground, it is important for troops to be there in order for them to feel like they're supported and things like that. Because even that, if no one is there, if no one is helping them, they're going to their mindset will become learned helplessness, in which they will not even feel like they should even try to go against the what's happening in the Middle East as far as the military and things like that. So it is important for troops to be there in order for them to see that there are people here that can help us. There are other countries that care about us, and it's important for them to help. It's important for troops to be there in order to help them build a democracy that that can allow them to be taken out of that situation and put into a new situation where they can flourish and prosper. Thank you.